Hi everybody, come on and create and stamp along with me today. I'm Verna Mullen from Stampin' Notes, and I'm coming to you today live from my studio in Western New York State. It's cold. The meadow around me is full of snow. It's a very wintry January day, but welcome. Hey, I want to share with you a beautiful bundle that's free right now during Sale-a-Bration. Softly Sophisticated. It is a beautiful stamp set with a 3D embossing folder. And I have some beautiful layered cards to share with you today using that. It's Monday, January 29th, 2024. And I'm here every Monday. I'm live on my Facebook page or my YouTube channel at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to share a special project with you. And if you participate by commenting or by sharing, especially sharing my video, I will put you into a drawing for some free gems. So last week's winner was Elaine Eggman. And Elaine, thank you for participating and sharing. And I will get those in the mail to you. What else? Oh, so I have two options this week. And I have a way for you to earn the kits, two different free kits by, one of two different free kits by placing an order with me this week. One kit that you could choose features 4 cards with a beautiful Flight and Airy Designer Series paper. And these are the cards. This one goes this way. And you would get the kits to make one of each of those beautiful cards, plus your choice of gems. And the gems are either the beautiful adhesive backed hearts, hearts and flowers, or the beautiful iridescent gold foil gems. They're both a beautiful sets of gems. And the other set that you can choose from, if you place an order of $40 or more, is the Be Mine set. And let me get that here so you can see that. Okay, so these are the Be Mine cards. And Be My Valentine is the set in the mini catalog. And there's one here that I'm missing, but there's 4 cards in that set, and they're just adorable. So you can choose, if your order's $40 or more, you can choose between kit, free card kits, or the Be My Valentine free kits. And you can choose which set of gems you want if your order's $50 or more. And the gems are the adhesive backed hearts and flowers or the iridescent foil gems. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Margaret. Thank you for sharing, Margaret. So, anyways, what else did I want to tell you? So right now is Sale-a-Bration. And this is the little Sale-a-Bration catalog, right side up. And today I'm going to be featuring a bundle from there called the Softly Sophisticated Bundle and some beautiful cards. And I have put out the measurements, so if you want to stamp along and create with me, you can. And then right now, for every $50 in product that you order, you can get something free out of here. And there are some $100 items and some $50 items. So, and this goes until the end of February. And it's also a great time to join Stampin' Up. If your order's over $100, you might want to consider just getting the starter kit, because that is, you can choose $155 of product right now and pay only $99 and get free shipping. You can just be a hobby demonstrator to get the discount. You don't have to stay in it. You don't have to sell. And so it's a great deal. The other option is you can get the beautiful glass mat studio right now instead of the extra $30 in free product. So you would get $125 worth of product for $99 plus free shipping, plus this beautiful glass mat studio. And this is a glass mat. And it comes with, it's 17 by 14. It's beautiful. It has rubber feet. You can do like, say you're using a sponge brush, then you can start on the outside on the glass mat and go onto your paper and then clean that off. There's a cleaning cloth that comes with it, and also a silicone mat that it's waterproof and heat resistant, and it has little wells for the little Stampin' Ink, the little small ones. So it's a great deal. Either the Glass Mat Studio, which is a $69 value, or the extra $30 in product if you get the starter kit. And the starter kit's nice because you get to choose whatever you would like in that kit. And of course I would love to have you on my team. We have team projects and we have a great time. So I would like to start now, and I'm gonna show you what we're working on today. I'm gonna put my camera down here, and yep, Elaine is the winner for sharing, or yep, for participating this week, and I will be sending her some gems. So comment and participate. Tell me where you're from. I love to know where people are from that are watching. So I'm going to show you, this is the beautiful embossing folder that we're going to use today. You can see it has a really pretty pattern, and this is the beautiful Softly Sophisticated stamp set, and it has this stem you would line up these flowers with, and this stem right here, these flowers go with this stem, and I'll show you how to line those up. It has some pretty sentiments. I really appreciate you. You're in my thoughts, and hello there. And I'll show you where that is in the celebration book. This is a little celebration book. If you don't have it and you would like one, let me know. I'd be glad to send you one. So let's find that set. And it is, alright, so it is right here on page 14. It is free with a $100 order. The stamp set and the embossing folder come together. And they showed you here some other little projects that you can use with this bundle, or that you can create with this bundle. And this one, they've used a blending brush on the embossing folder on the background there. It's pretty. So let's get started. And I have some different cards to show you that I've made. Hi Iris. Hi Renita. Nice to have you here. And I'm going to start today. Let's see here. I'm using, oh, I forgot to tell you, I'm using another free product, and that is this beautiful designer series paper. And I believe this is free with a $50 order. And it is called The Most Adored. I love the patterns in it. They're bright and cheerful. So we've got these flowers, and it's 12 by 12, but I've used quite a bit of it and cut it up. And there's sunshine on the back of this one. And here is a pattern with shaded spruce. And it has rainbows on the back. And Iris, thank you for that beautiful card. I left it upstairs and I meant to bring it down. Iris had used it with the ice cream cones that she had used some of this designer series paper. And I will, next time I'm on, I will show that. I'm downstairs in my studio and I would grab that. I just loved it. This sheet has cherries on it. Isn't that pretty? And this is a pool party. It has a striped image, kind of like rain. Okay, and then we have a sheet with clouds, and there's a coordinating set in the mini catalog that goes well with this. We also have a cloud punch, and I would guess that the cloud punch will punch out some of the clouds in this paper. Another beautiful set, especially with Valentine's Day coming up, or another beautiful sheet. The real red, and here's petal pink on the back. Hi, Anne. Nice to have you on. Okay, well, no problem. I'm glad you can watch the replay. Here's some beautiful strawberries. And that goes with the ice cream set too. And on the back here we have, it looks like bees and flowers. Fresh curry, and then I think that's all. So nice paper. Let's see, this is on, I want to find this and show it to you. What page is it here? Most adored. Right here, and it's free with a $50 order. And that is on page 5. Okay, so now we'll get started on the card. Set this over here. All right, so I'm starting with a piece of pool party cardstock. It's 8.5 by 5.5, and I'm gonna fold it in half, or you can score it at 4 1/4, and then fold it. And I'm going to burnish it with my bone folder. The bone folder just breaks down those fibers so it sets better. Hi, Pat. And we're just going to burnish that down. Now the card sketch that I had posted had a layer first that's 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And you can use cardstock or designer series paper. Sorry, I had to grab my measurements. For this card, I'm going to use designer series paper, and I'm going to use that bright floral. It has real red, I think sweet sorbet, and petal pink, and crushed curry, or wild wheat. I'm not sure which that is. Thank you, Pat. So we're going to go ahead and adhere that on there. Does anybody out there have this paper or the Softly Sophisticated bundle? Anyone that's watching? I really love this paper because it's so bright and cheerful. And we need bright and cheerful this time of year, don't we? Okay, so that's going to go on there like that. So if you're following along, I've just put on the layer that's 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. Put that on the front. So now there's another layer that's 4 1/2 by 2 1/2. And this one I'm going to emboss with the Softly Sophisticated embossing folder. And I'm going to this is a 3D embossing folder, so it's pretty thick and heavy. And I'm gonna move my computer back just a little bit. Okay. And bring in my Stampin' Cotton Emboss machine. Okay, so I've got these other plates in here too. That looks like it needs to be washed. So this layer is 4 1/2 by 2 1/2. And I've got it here on my cart. And what did I do in it with that? 4 1/2 by 2. Oh, nope. Oh, good grief, Charlie Brown. Let's see. Well, you guys, grab a snack or something. Or get a sip of something to drink. I'm gonna grab my pool party and bring my trimmer over and cut that. Okay, so I'm just cutting it right now. I'm not gonna move the embossing machine. And I will find it in a few minutes, probably. It seems like something, when you go live, you know, there's like something that will be missing for a little bit. Okay, so this is the pool party. And I'm going to just lay it inside the embossing folder like this. And I'm going to put a plate over this, just one plate. And I'm grabbing my plate. Okay. Let's see here. Hopefully my phone won't shake too much. This is a very elegant looking embossing folder, or emboss when it embosses it. So let's see what we have here. I'll straighten this up here. Get rid of that. Oh, Irish, yep, you have it. Alright, so it has that beautiful, can you see that raised detail on there? How pretty that is. It's like tiny little dots on there. Very pretty. So here's our card again. And I'm going to bring in a piece of the crinkled pool party ribbon, which is another free item. And this is, I really love this. Isn't that pretty? And I'm going to take about 6 inches of that off. And this is free with a $50 order in the Sale-a-Bration catalog. Alright, and I'm just going to tie this around this piece, and I want I'm not going to do a bow, I'm just going to knot it, and I want it to be on the left side of the card, so I'll be putting this on the left. Whoops. Yeah, we had a really heavy snowfall yesterday, and today when I went to work, I tried to stay on the main roads because the hills are pretty messy. And I live in a rural part of New York. I know, people are like, usually when you say you live in New York, people think you're a city person, but we live in a very rural area. And I love it. Okay, so I've just tied a little knot around there, like that. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to adhere this onto my card base. And I'm keeping it about 1/4 inch in from the left side. And I'm doing about 1/4 inch at the top. So I have a wider area down here at the bottom. So, and I'm just gonna, I like to use glue on embossed layers because of all the little nooks and crannies. And I tend to use glue more than the seal anyways, because I'd like to be able to move things around a little bit. Alright. So that's on there. All right, so now our next piece, let's find our next, find my directions here. And the next piece is for our sentiment, and you could use either vanilla or a basic white. And it is 3.5 by 2 3/8, and I'm gonna go ahead and stamp, show you the stamping, how to line up those flowers. So, and because I can't find my pile that I brought over, I'm gonna go ahead and cut that. All right, so if you're nervous about cutting anything that's like 1/8 of an inch, don't be. So each of the little lines on here, each of these tiny little lines is a 1/16. Okay, so 1 1/8 would be 2 of those little lines right there. So it'll be right there. There's 1 1/4, 1 1/2. All right, so we want this to be 3 1/2. So we're going to line that up there. Oops, and I just scored it. So the darker blade is the cutting blade, and the lighter blade is scoring. All right, so now we're going to turn it and do 2 3/8. So 2 3/8 is going to be this line between the 1/2 inch mark and the 1/4 inch mark. It's that middle line. There's 2 3/8 right there. All right. And this is going to be our sentiment piece. So I'm going to bring in a piece of scrap paper, and I want to show you how to line those flowers up. All right, I'm going to lay that down there. And I'm going to grab Pretty Peacock. And Real Red. Actually, maybe I'll do Sweet Sorbet. Oh, I'll do Real Red. All right. All right, so to show you, all right, so the bushier, the larger leafy foliage, we're going to stamp right there. Now, I was talking to one of my friends today about stamping with photopolymer stamps. And if you're having trouble and your image isn't coming out, stamp on a catalog or a piercing mat. And Stampin' Up does sell these piercing mats. I think they're like $5 or $6. Your photopolymer images will come out better. All right. So we've got that. Now let's stamp the flowers on there. And the image that goes with that foliage, this foliage right here, is right above it. It's these two big flowers and a bud there. All right. And so I'm going to bring in those flowers. So when you're inking this, when you're going to stamp this, it's going to set, this little bud is going to go in right here, and it won't slide all the way in. There's going to be a little bit of space, and then the larger flowers here, and the smaller flower is there. So I'm inking this up with a Real Red. Alright, so when you're trying to line it up, you've got these two little marks here too that are going to be below your flower. And I'm just going to set my bud is going to go over here, and then the larger flower about like that. Alright, so that's how you line that image up. So you can see that bud doesn't go all the way down into, I don't know if it's called the calyps. I can't remember what that's called. With the bottom, the green leafy part that holds the bud. Isn't that a pretty image? All right, so the other one is a long, slender image, and there's a bunch of flowers to stamp on that one. Let me grab that block. And this one has a smaller bud at the top, and you can see all these little points where a flower will sit here, 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 and here. All right, so I'm going to line up my top two here and here, and once you have those lined up, you'll see that everything kind of lines up in place. And let's see what this looks like. Yeah, that's pretty good. So there's that one like that. Okay, so the key for me, I lined this up on this one, and those two kind of fall in place. And then I line up these top two here. All right, so let's stamp our sentiment piece. And I'm going to use the larger, bushier foliage. And I'm using Pretty Peacock. I'm going to put it down here. All right, and then I'm going to bring in those flowers. The 3 flowers that go with that, the bud and the 2 large ones. Margaret, hi Margaret. This is the Softly Sophisticated. It's in the Sale-a-Bration catalog. It's a free bundle with a $100 order. It's this and an embossing folder. This embossing folder here. So that's a bundle, and this is free with a $100 order. Okay, so again, I'm lining up this flower here, and then turning it just a little bit, and it will not sit right down inside that little cup. All right, so now let's do our sentiment at the top, and I'm using Pretty Peacock again. So this is You're in My Thoughts. I really love this sentiment because you can use it for so many different illness, or somebody's going through a difficult time, or just thinking of you. All right, so we have our little sentiment piece. Now, I found that I really liked, before I put this on, I want to show you a card I did without I really like a frame around this. So this card, this is one of the other cards that I did. There's no layer behind it, and it's pretty, but I really love having the outline layer behind it. So if you want to do that, the frame would be 3 5/8 by 2 1/2. Okay, and I'm going to do that for our card right here. 3 5/8 by 2 1/2, and I'm going to cut this down. Grab my trimmer. Hi Ann. Yes, I really love it. All right, so this is 2 1/2. We're going to cut it down to 3 5/8. So just after the half mark would be the second little dash. All right. And this just gives it like 1/8 of an inch all the way around there. All right, so I'm gonna add my adhesive. There, you're in thoughts. And now we are going to put some dimensionals on the back. Yeah, I saw someone demonstrate some cards with this set. When I first saw it in the catalog, I was like, oh, I wasn't gonna get it. But then I loved the way the flowers stamp, and I thought, I think I will get that. I'm using up dimensionals on the last few dimensionals on a sheet here. Okay, there's paper on this still. And I will have I do have a PDF tutorial for this sketch that I will post the link to later today. Alright, so there's our card, basic card. You're in my thoughts. And let's add some gems to that. Let's use, these are the iridescent foil gems. I'm going to use 3. There's like a large size and a smaller size. And now I'm going to add an inside layer. 5 1/4 by 4. And let's add a piece of designer series paper to that to dress it up a little bit. Don't really like that going sideways. Maybe I think I'll add a piece of this. And I'm just going to cut a 3/4 inch strip. And have it go across the bottom. So 3/4 of an inch by 4 inches. And I'm going to add it right across the bottom of my basic white piece. And then you can always dress up the envelope too. If you're going to put designer series paper on the flap, you want to cut it like 2.5 inches by 6 inches and add it to your flap. And then what did I do? Oh my word, I had another piece there. Okay, well, we have the plate. We'll save this one for later. Oh brother. All right, so let me grab an envelope and show you how I dress up my envelopes. Okay, these are our envelopes here. Oops, there's somebody's name on that, so I won't use that one. So I've got my envelope here. And we're going to do a fancier card in a minute. We're going to do some heat embossing on one. And then I'll show you the different designs that I came up with this particular layout. Alright, so here's my trimmer again. And I want a 2.5 inch piece here. This has a direction, so you want to be aware of which way it's going to go across your flap. And then I'm going to cut it at 6 inches. And I'm going to bring my flap right here, and I'm just going to put adhesive on this flap. go all the way around it. Okay, and so it's going to fold down, so we want, directionally we want to lay it this way, right up against where that fold is, like that. I'm going to grab my snips. And I'm just going to cut around this edge of the inside of the envelope with my paper snips. And it gives a really nice, beautiful card and envelope. Isn't that pretty? So we have our card here, You're in My Thoughts. Makes a really pretty set. Now let's do another one. I'm not going to do the whole thing. I've got part of it done, and I've used some of that same designer series paper, the Most Adored, and this is from the Most Adored designer series paper. I've embossed the larger cardstock piece with that softly sophisticated embossing folder. I've tied ribbon around it. This is our sheer ribbon with the silver edge. It's so pretty. It has been out of stock. I'm not sure if it's back in stock yet or not. So let's emboss an image on there. I have a piece of shaded spruce, and I have a scrap piece of paper here. I have my embossing buddy, and you want to always rub your embossing buddy across the front because it helps keep static away and helps keep flecks of embossing powder from going where they shouldn't go. And I'm just going to wipe these off, these stamps that we're going to use. Gotta grab my wipe here. Well, okay. And we're going to do we're going to use some white heat embossing powder. Alright, so I've run the embossing buddy over that, and I'm glad you have it, Margaret. And I'm bringing in my Versamark ink. And this is a clear ink. Bringing back in my piercing mat. It's not in the best shape. It's seen better days. Okay, and I'm just going to take that Versamark ink to stamp our foliage on there. Okay, and I'm going to take my flowers and stamp them on the Versamark. I'm going to line them up. Hopefully I can do this. Can't see with the Versamark that well. Okay. Alright, not too bad. And then our sentiment. And let's use, I think I had hello over here. But I'm not seeing it. So I will go with Thinking of You. And we're going to ink this up with the Versamark. Line that up on the top. I hope this is straight. Oh, You're in My Thoughts is what it says. Alright, so then I'm going to bring in my white embossing powder. and dump it on there. And if you tap, usually you get all those little minor pieces that are sitting where they shouldn't be on your cardstock. Alright, so our embossing toolkit is really awesome. It has a brush, and it has, no, it's right here, I'll show it to you. Has a tray, has the embossing buddy, has a brush, and I'm going to use the tweezers right now while I use the heat tool, because the heat tool gets kind of hot. And you'll see the powder melt. And you just kind of want to move it around and not leave it in the same place. You see it changing. Okay. Make sure that's all right. So there's a couple little pieces there that I should have pulled off, but we can cover them with a gem. We know how to fix problems or hide our mistakes, huh? All right, I made a little frame for this from the Petal Pink. And we'll layer that on there just like that. Yeah, the embossing powder adds a lot. I don't want to dress up a card. Embossing powder is the thing to do. Now this would be pretty with a little bit of pink embossed on there, or sponged on there. In fact, let me grab my sponge brush right now and try that. Okay, so I'm going to use Petal Pink before I put this on with the dimensionals, and I'm just going to rub it off a little bit. Grab this. I'm going to do in this corner here and down at the bottom. My ink pad is a little bit dry, so if I had a really wet ink pad, I would have to be sponging some of this off more. So I need to leave that out to add some ink to it. Okay, so now let's put dimensionals on the back there and add this to our card front. Let's see what we got here. Be pretty too with some of those little pink hearts from the Hearts and Flowers adhesive back gems. They would be pretty on here. All right, so we'll add this here in my thoughts. So that's what that looks like, a little bit of pink there. I probably will add a little more right there. In fact, I'll do that right now. Okay. And I'm going to use another free product, and these are gems that are in the Sale-a-Bration catalog. They have Calypso Coral, Pecan Pie, and Balmy Blue. And I'm going to just add one there. These are free with a $50 order. There, so that's a pretty card. You're in my thoughts. With the embossing on it. And actually, let's try a gems in there. No, I should be using my Take Your Pick tool. Yeah, I like it. Okay, so you're in my thoughts. So we've got that one. We've got this one that we did. I showed you this one earlier. This one I embossed vellum here with the Softly Sophisticated embossing folder. No frame on this one. I've used Lost Lagoon and Poppy Parade and a little bit of yellow on the centers of the flowers in that one. Okay, this one I really liked. And actually this one is the only one that I put the piece that's 1.5 by 3 in there, and I embossed that. It's Poppy Parade or Real Red. Okay, so with one sketch you can do so many different things. So this one, instead of that 1.5 by 3 inch piece, I've got the black and white ribbon. It says hello there, and I've used the red Designer Series paper. This is Pretty Peacock, Real Red, with a little bit of yellow. And the last one is I've embossed, I've used basic white cardstock for the back layer, and I've embossed that. You can see that there. And then I've used the adhesive backed stars and flowers, and they are, these right here is what I'm talking about. There's red ones up under here. And then I've used that crinkled pool party ribbon there. So I hope you enjoyed these. I'm going to be posting the tutorial in a little while, and so happy. I would love to see if you guys use this or make a sketch, make other cards using different a different set with this sketch. I'd love to see it. So thanks for joining me today, and I hope you have a great rest of the week. Take care.